What's up, everybody? It's Real Sports Updates here, back again with another video in our 2021 NFL preseason preview. And today we're going to go over the Buffalo Bills. Um, so last year, the Buffalo Bills they finished first in the division in the AFC West. Excuse me, I'm sorry, in the AFC East. I'm sorry. Um, Excuse me. Yes, in the AFC East. So obviously Josh Allen is the quarterback. They finished with a 13-3 record last year in the AFC East. And Josh Allen, the star quarterback, he made a lot of strides. Um, Last year was the first season that he had with the Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs, he came from the Minnesota Vikings. They had a really good connection, really good connection. Made huge strides. Had a fantastic regular season. Um, that offense was humming as well too. Their offensive coordinator Brian Daboll, he was a really popular candidate as far as the NFL head coaching searches went. But he was not hired. He wasn't hired for any job. I I think he was linked to the Chargers job, but I'm not 100% sure if they offered it to him. But I know that he was linked to several jobs. He didn't end up getting any of them, so he'll be back in Buffalo. So that's definitely a positive for Josh Allen and the offense. But I think the thing about the Bills is their defense was not as good as it should have been. 2 years ago, that was a really good defense. They were really good on third down, and last year it was the complete opposite. They weren't good on third down, so for them to get that worse in a year is kind of troubling. Especially with Sean McDermott, he's a defensive head coach, so I think they're going to shore that up again this year. I do. I think they'll be a lot better. I think they'll be a lot better defensively. The question for the Bills though is consistency in the running game. Um, Josh Allen threw the ball a lot last year. He threw the ball a whole lot last year, and their running game was not consistent enough. Um, I know they showed flashes here and there, but it's got to be consistent. Especially when you get to the playoffs. We seen they made the AFC Championship game last year. Um, Obviously, they lost to the Kansas City Chiefs. They were just not able to control the ball. They weren't able to be aggressive up front. Um, they threw the ball way too much. And when you throw the ball a lot, obviously your quarterback takes more chances, and the more prone he is for turnovers. And it's not like Josh Allen does throw a lot of turnovers, but he can get kind of aggressive and kind of loose with the ball sometimes. He's got one of the strongest arms in the league, so I think that leads him to take more chances than what a some other quarterback would take. But they've got to be more consistent. They've definitely got to be more consistent in the run game. Josh Allen himself is a really good runner. Really good runner. He's a big boy. He's like 6'5", 250, 260 something. He's a big dude. He's great in the run game. But I think they got to take the ball out of his hands a little more. They need their offensive line to step up and be better, especially in the run game. They're really good in the passing game, really good, but they've got to be more aggressive in the running game, and I think that's something that they're going to try to show in the beginning of the season. First 4 or 5 games, I think they're going to come out. They're going to run the ball a lot. Um, Sean McDermott being a defensive head coach, we know how defensive head coaches are. Defense and run the ball. So I think they're going to come out. They're going to have better running schemes. I think they're going to block a lot better, and that's just going to take pressure off of Josh Allen. Obviously, we know he had a really good year last year. Legitimate MVP candidate. So I think they come back, and I think they have a really good year this year. Their division is it's weak. It's weak, but I think the Miami Dolphins are right there on their tail. But I think they come out. I think they do win the division this year. I think they win the division again. I think they get to the playoffs. I think they finish 13-4. I think they get to the playoffs, and they are a legitimate Super Bowl contender. If they're able to run the ball and their defense is able to just make timely stops, they don't have to dominate. They don't need to be the 2000 Ravens. They just got to go out there and get off the field on third down. That's all they need to do. The offense will take care of everything else. I think they're a legitimate Super Bowl contender. I think they are. They play up in Buffalo, and it gets cold as hell out there in the wintertime. Especially for the playoffs, it gets really cold. So I think that's to their advantage as well, especially if they can lock up home field advantage early. They are a legitimate Super Bowl contender. I wouldn't be surprised if they got there. Uh, Especially with Josh Allen the way he's playing right now. He's hot. He's hot. I think he's gonna be another. I think he's gonna be another MVP candidate this year. Um, I don't see anything keeping him from being an MVP candidate. You know, Especially with the offensive coordinator coming back, Brian Dable. It's gonna be the same verbiage. Nothing's gonna change. He knows the playbook. So now it's just coming out, developing that chemistry in training camp, and I think they're going to be off and running. They're going to be one of the best teams in the league in the first half. Now injuries and whatnot might slow them down a little bit, but if they don't have any major injuries, I do see them being a legit Super Bowl contender. Um, and just because of how young they are, I do see them. I see them and the Miami Dolphins kind of battling for supremacy in the AFC East. So especially with Tom Brady not being there with the Patriots anymore. So I have a pretty positive outlook for the Bills. If you're a Bills fan, you should be really excited. They're gonna be really really good, and they're gonna be fun to watch. They're gonna be fun to watch. Josh Allen is a great athlete, um, great arm, great connection with Stephon Diggs. Uh, Cole Beasley's still there. He's a third down guy. And I believe they added Emmanuel Sanders in the offseason as well. So he's got some weapons. They're going to be really good. They're going to be really, really good. They're going to be really formidable. And they're going to be a fun watch this year. So definitely looking forward to watching them this season. And I think that they will. I think they'll go as far as that defense and running game takes them. And they'll be in the playoffs and they'll have a successful season.